to never have a dry pipeline. This is a nightmare of most of the founders, right? You don't know whom to pitch next and you do not have any leads left. Now, if you're facing this, let me tell you one thing. You do not have a sales problem, neither do you have a lead problem, but you have a system problem. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to never have a dry pipeline anymore. So, let's get inside. So if you're here for the first time, hi, I'm Saranya Narayanamurthy. I run the Content Bot, which is an SEO marketing company, and Line Digital, which is a B2B sales company. And we help companies like yours to streamline your sales process and supercharge everything from your lead generation, nurture, until your final sales closure. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can never have a dry pipeline, or how you can never be in a position where you do not have any leads to pitch. So let's get inside the strategy. So firstly, let's go to the crux of what the problem is. In many companies, they treat lead as a one-time opportunity. If they pitch something today and if they see that the lead is not answering or they're not interested right now, they close it either as a dead or a ghosted lead. But that is not how deals work. So for many companies whom you're pitching to, they might not have an immediate requirement, but they'll certainly have a requirement somewhere down the line. And that's exactly why you need to nurture the sales pipeline, and you need to ensure that the prospects are there for you, and you need to ensure that the leads are there for you when you need to pitch for the next time, and you being in their mind so that when they have a requirement, they come up to you. Now let me tell you one thing. For the prospects whom we have pitched in 2020, we have closed them in 2023, not because of a larger sales cycle, because back then they did not have a requirement and they did not have enough funding to afford our services, and in 2023 they did. So the one thing that actually helped us to close this sale was because throughout that period they were there in our nurture funnel, and then whenever they had a requirement, they called us trusting that we will provide them with the best services and with the best support in that particular sales process. So nurturing is a core of how to never have a dry pipeline. But that being said, let me tell you two methodologies that you should implement to first segment your leads and then to nurture them right for a future sales process. So the first thing that you need to do while segmenting is clustering your accounts. Cluster your accounts into these two segments. One is the active accounts, wherein they actually have a requirement and they have the budget to pay for what you quote, and they also have the resources to implement and to leverage whatever you are offering. Now in these cases, give them a direct proposal that is time bound, that gives results for right now, and that ensures that 3 months from now they see themselves at a better position. Now the second one is a dormant or an inactive pipeline. Now an inactive pipeline is where you give them a pitch, they fit your ICP, but at this time they either do not have sufficient resources, or they are at a place where they cannot afford you, or right now their internal structures are shaky for what you have to offer. Now in this case, they fit your pipeline, they trust you, and they are a very good connection, but it's just that they cannot move in just right now. So put them into a dormant pipeline who will then move on to the nurture funnel, where strategic touches, content fill-ups, and your content hub takes care of them. Now, when you have both of these segments, from here, move on to the next stage, which is about pitching to a future pipeline or to an active pipeline. Now, do you actually pitch to a future pipeline? Because in many cases, many companies do not do that. Let me tell you how pitching to a future pipeline works. Right now, I have a few of my prospects whom I have talked to, whom I have had a very good conversation with, whose buying committee I have met, but then when it comes to actually closing the deal, they are not yet ready for it. Now, why are they not yet ready for it? There are a lot of blind spots, there are a lot of bottlenecks, and there are many problems which they have not yet figured out a solution to. Now, these problems and these solutions form as a prerequisite to what we have to offer. Let me give you an example. We specialize in lead generation and in generating sales for companies. Let's say today I am telling you, I will generate 100 leads for you in the next upcoming week. And I also say, we will also provide you with sufficient services and sufficient resources to close those deals. Now, will you actually be happy to take this up if you do not have the manpower or the strength to handle such a volume? Or would you rather prefer, I only give you enough services for just 10 leads, but the charges are higher because the foundational work that we put for 10 leads versus 100 leads are only a little different? Now in this case, quoting 1 lakh for 10 deals versus quoting 1.5 lakhs for 45 deals doesn't actually sound good, right? Now this is where this parity happens, and that client says, see, right now I'm not in a position to accept your services. Now in this case, there are a lot of internal struggles that they have to go through, and at this point they may not be a prospect for me. But in future, if I am introducing a service that is a little low touch, that's either a DIY or a done with you service instead of a done for you, and at that time if they are an ideal prospect for me, then that is a pipeline that I certainly have to nurture. So what I'll do in this case, move all of these people to a New Year pipeline. So in that pipeline, we will talk more about what are the things that they need to prepare for. What are the foundations of sales that a company should actually have? And if they are doing any existing funnels, or if they're already running some campaigns, what are the most common mistakes that they might face? So when we go in a little bit deeper and keep sending information, keep sending them blogs, keep sending them newsletters, they are getting educated every single day. And when that education happens there, the next time whenever they have a question, naturally I'm the person they trust. Sounds good, right? Now imagine this happening for your business, for the stream of services that you offer. Your prospect will keep coming back to you, and anytime when you feel like there is a new offer, you already have a pool of interested audience, not just regular audience, interested audience who will be ready to buy from you. And this is what gives you that excitement to create new offers, and will also give you a good closure rate when you're pitching to them. Because in this case, you already have an ideal audience for your pilot sales pitches, and you already know whatever you pitch, whatever ticket size you're actually sending them with, you will have at least a few signups just from that pool that you've already created. So this way, if you're having this nurture funnels, every deal that comes in, every lead that comes in never goes to waste, and especially your efforts that you put on sales is quantified and qualified on a very consistent basis. Now think about the companies who don't do this. Every single month they need to look for new leads, they need to look for new pitches, they need to look at talking to anonymous strangers day in and day out to generate their leads. And this is where many companies actually fail, and they have a higher customer acquisition cost, because here they are not leveraging on nurturing a garden every time they go out and buy flowers instead of cultivating your own. So if you are a B2B founder looking forward to leveraging your sales cycle and ensuring that your sales funnel fit well, definitely use this strategy so that you never have a dry pipeline again. And with this, you'll never run out of leads. You'll always be closing clients and giving up new proposals day in and day out, and especially just from your CRM, you will have a predictable revenue. So if you're looking forward to much more sales content, and if you're looking forward to enhance your sales process, subscribe to this YouTube channel and connect with me on LinkedIn so that you and me can work together to make your company's sales process the most profitable ones and increase your lead generation. So with this, signing off for now. Never miss out on another days of content by subscribing to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you live in the next video. For now, let's close some sales.